Hello there. Well, if you are hopping on right now and you see the live button, you know that we're live, obviously, but if you don't see that live button, you're watching the replay, which is great. Hey, Esther, you're already on. I'm going to wait for Liz. Here we go. All right, she got on quick. For her to hop on and get this going. There she is.
Hello.
Okay, so quick little intro. This is like not impromptu. Liz and I have been talking about this with Patricia, but we are going to do a quick little video for Patricia's team page about how to effectively and successfully lead your team. This is such an important topic, so we wanted to come on here and hopefully help some of you guys if you're struggling with that, or if you have some questions about it. Maybe we can give you some tips and tricks to help you in your journey of leadership. So I'm going to start off. I'll do a quick little, actually, why don't I do an intro? Liz, you introduce yourself, and then I'll start our training.
Perfect.
So I'm Beth Oliver. I am a STAR director in Michigan. I live in the Grand Rapids, Michigan area, and I've been a STAR director for what, 3 months maybe? I'm a pretty new STAR director. I've been with Scentsy 5 years in October, so I'm super excited to celebrate my 5-year anniversary in October. And my Scentsy journey has been just crazy. Like, if you would have asked me 5 years ago, a team of 175 people, and I'm sorry, a group of 175 and a team of almost 100, I would have said, yeah, you're crazy, because that's not what I'm doing. I'm here to get a discount on my wax, and that's all I want to do, and I'm just going to have a good time. Well, guess what? Things changed. So, we got all kinds of people hopping on. Things changed, and I saw the opportunity. I saw the blessing that Scentsy could bring to my life. And oh no, where'd Liz go? Hopefully she joins back on. I saw the blessing, I saw the opportunity, so I wanted to take advantage of it. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. Hopefully, okay, she's getting back on. Let me approve her. And she will join us again.
Okay.
There you go.
I don't know, mine froze, sorry.
Oh, okay. So anyway, I just finished up a super quick little intro about myself. So you go ahead and intro yourself, and then when you're done, I'll get started with my portion of this start of the training, and we'll go from there.
Perfect. For those of you guys that don't know me, I am Liz Mercado. I am a brand new STAR director in Sarasota, Florida. I've been with Scentsy for about 8 years. I'll be celebrating 8 years this October. And I've been through like all the ups and downs of this business with, my sponsors quitting and us rolling up to Patricia. Patricia was actually not my original SSD. So, we've kind of seen it all. And I think that this is something that I really, really enjoy, is like leadership and training my team. It's actually like my most favorite thing of this business. And, just delighted to be here to share with you guys some tips and tricks. So
awesome. All right, cool. Well, yeah, we've been just chatting. Liz and I work really, really closely together. Even though we're not on the same team. I mean, we're both under Patricia, but we're not the same team. But it almost feels like it sometimes. We're like I can't remember what we call it. There was
accountability partners.
Yeah, accountability partners, but I was thinking of something else, like we're not on the same team, but I don't know, we came up with a name for it once, but I can't remember what it is. But it feels like we are sometimes, because we utilize training so much for each other's teams, because we're big into not reinventing the wheel, because why reinvent the wheel when we have so many amazing resources around us, right? So let's get started. I'm stealing this phrase from Liz, and she'll probably say it over and over again, and I'll say it again too, but it's just the perfect way to start this training, by saying sponsoring and leadership is a servanthood. That is what it is. It is a servanthood. It's not, I want to be lead, so I need to make sure I recruit one person, get that 1,000 group wholesale volume, so I can get to the next level and I can get my promotion. That's why I need someone on my team. I need to recruit one more person so I can get to STAR, so I can have that title. It's not about that, guys. And if you have that mindset, that's not going to help you in your business in the long term. And I will tell you that over and over again. And I've seen it with our teams. You need to have the mentality of servanthood in your leadership style, because the servanthood is what's going to make a really cohesive team and a team that has built on trust. Because let's be honest, our customers need to trust us, or else they're going to go find some other Scentsy consultant. We all share this. We all sell the same stuff. So if I don't give you good customer service, they're going to go get it from somebody else. And I've seen that happen too. So guess what? If you're not giving your teammates really, really good servanthood, they can't necessarily go somewhere else, because we all know that doesn't really happen like that. You can't just quit and go somewhere else. But you're not going to establish that trust, and you're not going to have that good relationship. And then it's not going to even help you down the road, even with your own goals, because you're not going to have that trust in that relationship with your downline, your frontline, and the people on your team. So you just have to have that servanthood mentality. That being said, like I just said in my intro, when I started, I didn't think I was going to sponsor people. I didn't have any idea what that even meant. And then I remember when my first person wanted to join, I was like, okay, let's try it. I don't know. And then guess what? I had to do a little bit of research on what it meant to be a sponsor. Okay, I'm a leader now. Okay, I don't know if I'm ready for this. But guess what? It's not that hard. You just have to teach them the ways. You need to teach them what you know. Now, I'll say this again, and I've said this before in a lot of trainings, and Liz has too. When you sign up, you put your own social security number in. You are an independent Scentsy consultant, okay? It's not your sponsor's responsibility to make your sales for you. It's not your sponsor's responsibility to train you completely. Yes, it's their responsibility to give you some essential things that you need in the beginning as far as training goes. It's their responsibility to encourage, recognize, which we're going to get into those things as well. But it's very important that you know that if it's sponsoring is something that you want, and it's something that you strive for, and it's something you're passionate about, leading a team and being a leader and being present for them, that's an amazing thing. And you should be a sponsor, because that is something that is in your heart. It's in your Scentsy blood. You want to do that. You want to have that servanthood. But if it's something you don't want to do, and you're like, that's a lot of responsibility, you guys. Like, I don't know if I want to be a sponsor. Like, it's hard enough for me to keep up with my own stuff, like selling the PRV and keeping up with my customers and following up. It's just too much. Guess what? You don't have to. You don't have to do that. And it's also okay if you are a sponsor and then down the road, you're like, this is too much for me. Life hit me sideways. I didn't know all this stuff was going to happen. I can't do this anymore. I'm really stressed out. I have too much responsibility. You don't have to sponsor anymore either. You don't have to take that that leadership role any longer if you don't want to. And this has happened to Patricia. Somebody on her team said, she was a director, and she said, which I have so much respect for her. She's like, I can't do this. I can't give my team what they need. And she decided to have her team roll up to Patricia because she knew she couldn't give them what she needed. So I just want you guys to know that's not something you're quote unquote stuck with. So if you're like, this is too much for me, I can't handle it, then that's okay. And you can always like email Scentsy, and you can ask your sponsor about that if you ever need to. But you can always email Scentsy and you can say, I want to take a non-leadership role. And because honestly, it's better to choose not to be a leader than to sponsor and not lead your team. 100%. And that comes from a really important place in my heart, because I know I'm speaking for Liz too. Leading our teams is one of our favorite things in the world. Doing trainings, connecting with them, helping them. And the most rewarding thing we can do is see our team succeed. We love it. Promotion watches. Every time somebody has a $2,000 month. I mean, it is so fun cheering people on. And it is something that I didn't know would make such a impact on me. Like, that is such an amazing thing to watch. And it's one of my favorite things about being a consultant. So if there's something I want to resonate with you, is it's better to choose not to be a leader than to sponsor and not lead, because it's a servanthood, like we said. So I'm going to pass it on to Liz, and she's going to talk about training.
Awesome. Thanks. And I'll just add to that, that it doesn't matter why you join Scentsy. We all join for different reasons, but it doesn't matter if you joined for the extra money, for friendships, for traveling. You can still be a leader and still lead your team in different aspects. I very much joined because I needed a hobby, and I honestly did not plan on sticking around. I thought I'll get my stuff for free, I'll make some extra money, get distracted, and then maybe 2 years, 3 years down the road, I'll just quit, whatever. I didn't think direct sales was for me. But the more I fell in love with Scentsy, the more I fell in love with Heidi and Orville and the products, and every catalog was just so much more amazing that I wanted all the new warmers that I've been around for 8 years. I've had people join on my team that they wanted a break, a mom break, or they wanted to get their stuff for free and half off. It doesn't matter why we join, but we choose to be leaders. And I just want to touch on some things about how you can lead your team effectively and how you can do it in a way that it's not like the main thing you do. I think a lot of people overthink the leadership roles. I think that they think, oh my gosh, it's going to take so much of my time. And it doesn't necessarily take much of your time if you are organized and if you really kind of know what you're doing. So the first thing I want to talk about is, let's say that you're a brand new consultant, or maybe you haven't sponsored and you sponsor your first teammate. Your job is to welcome them and onboard them. You know Scentsy. They don't know Scentsy. They might have been a customer for years. They might have never known about Scentsy. Maybe they've done direct sales. Maybe they've never done direct sales. Your job as their sponsor is to onboard them. And what do I mean by that? Like, you help them get started. You're not going to hold their hand and like walk them step by step, but you're going to go ahead and give them the tools that they need to know where to find more information, to know exactly what they should be doing first. We don't want someone that just joined worrying about creating a whole new website and ordering all these like templates and like paper heads and all this stuff. Like, no, like they should be focusing on their launch party, shooting star, sensational start, getting to certified. Those small little steps to get them to launch their business successfully. And if you don't know like those things, because maybe, like I said, maybe you've never sponsored, maybe you're new yourself, all you have to do is go through the workstation. Scentsy gives us all the tools that we need at our fingertips. If you do not know, if you did not know this, in the Scentsy Success, where it has like the training, there's a lot of FAQs. There's actually all the emails that each consultant gets when they're new. It gives you like their welcome email. It gives you like a 70-day walkthrough. You can take the time and teach yourself, go through those things, maybe print them out, maybe save them, like bookmark them on your web, so that when you sponsor someone, you can go directly there and know exactly what they're getting from Scentsy and then follow up. I will go ahead and upload, once we're done, or tomorrow, I will upload a checklist that I actually use to onboard my teammates. And it literally has like, the first 24 to 48 hours, what do I reach out to them and talk to them about? And then at the end of the first week, at the end of the second week, at the end of the first month. And it kind of breaks it down where I'm not overburdening them with all this information, because guess what? Sometimes we get excited and we want to tell them about all the things. Oh my gosh, we have a warmer and scent of the month. We have this, we have that. And guess what? They're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is way too much. This is not what I signed up with. I signed up for just the discount. So you want to take them little at a time. And sometimes you will be surprised. And when you're doing those little coaching calls, as we call them, and you're saying like, okay, well, I wanted to tell you about this thing that we have called Warmer and Scent of the Month. You'll be surprised, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I saw that on my news, on my account, or I saw that on one of the emails that Scentsy sent me, because those people really want to work their business. I was one that when I joined, my sponsor was new. She had been with Scentsy for only like 2 or 3 months. I learned the workstation my first weekend. Like, I went in, I was like studying every tab. I was playing around with it because I wanted to learn it. But you're also going to have some teammates that want all the answers. I've had teammates that tell me, can you log in for me and like do this party for me because I don't know how to enter things in? I don't want to do it for them. I don't want to create leeches. I want to create leaders. So I'm going to tell her, hey, there's this great video that they sent you in an email that walks you on how to open and close a party. Go watch it, and if you have any questions, let me know. That's telling her how to do it, because guess what? If I go in and I do her party for her, what's going to happen next time she has another party? I'm going to have to do it all over for her. I want to let them know. So you want to teach them the way. You don't want to give them the answers. So, like I said, go in the workstation, figure these things out. In my team page, if you are tech savvy, you can create units, which is what I did for my team. So I have all those things in my units, and my team members, when they have someone new, they just tag them. They tag them on there, and that way they just have it right at their fingertips. They don't have to go search for things. But if you're not tech savvy, you can go ahead and go through the workstation, read over the things. Like I said, you can bookmark them on your website so you can have them easy access. So what do you want to do when they're new? Tell them about Shooting Star. What do they need to do to earn Shooting Star? They need to sell 500 PRV in the first 14 days. 15 days, sorry. 20 days right now because of COVID, right? So what are you going to do as a sponsor? Let's book your launch party. Do you want me to do your launch party for you? Do you want me to help you with that? Do you want to do a home party? Do you want to do a virtual party? How can I help you as your sponsor to launch your business successfully? Now, I will say this, and we'll probably repeat this over and over. You can't do it for them. You can't motivate the unmotivated, but you can guide them to the things that they need to do. After their Shooting Star is come and gone, what do you focus on? Getting them to certified. That's the next step. They're already halfway there. Get them to certified. Tell them about that 5% raise. They're going to earn 25% commission on all of their purchases from now on after being certified. After that, 70 days. Again, what do they need to do to get to Sensational Start? They need to sponsor and sell. So now you set goals. Well, what level of the Sensational Start program do you want to earn? And what do you need to get there? Help them break it down. As a sponsor, as a leader, when you are leading your team, especially if you want to do it effectively, you have to be consistent. So after a lot of trial runs, you guys, I've made a lot of mistakes as a leader, as I've learned, because I didn't have a cookie cutter pattern to follow. Like I said, my SSD left the company, and we rolled up to people that I didn't know, and I no longer lived in Utah. So I couldn't just drive to their house and be like, hey, I'm Liz, like train me. So I got to meet them in Vegas, but we lived, on opposite sides of the country. So I really had to train myself on a lot of things. And along the way, I made a lot of mistakes. But one thing that I will tell you is that I never stopped leading my team. Even if I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, even if I didn't have a plan that was working 100%, I never stopped showing up. You want to make sure that as a leader, you're showing up and that you're being consistent. Is what I tell my leaders. It doesn't matter how you lead your team. It doesn't matter if you do a ton of rewards, if you do a ton of shout outs. What matters is that you're consistent. That what you do today, your team can expect you to continue to do. If you do something today like a training and you say, oh my gosh, we're going to have a weekly call, you can't not show up next week. Like you cannot, things happen, life happens, I get it. But like you can now say, we're going to have a training this week, and then next week you don't have one, and then the next week you have one, and then you don't have one, because guess what? Your team's not going to know what's going on. They're not going to know what to follow, and they're not going to know what to expect. So the first thing is be consistent, and then determine what kind of leader you want to be. You don't have to be me. You don't have to be Beth. You don't have to be Patricia. You have to be you. You have to determine, what do I want to give my team as a leader? And honestly, if we break it down, it's very simple what Scentsy expects of leaders. And a lot of leaders go above and beyond, which I think a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people demand a lot of things without realizing that Scentsy, all they expect is for you to communicate with your team. And it can be done once, 2, 3 times a month, and to train your team. They don't say that you have to do the training. They say train your team. So you can determine how you're going to do that. You can decide if you're going to do one-on-one communication. And when your team is small, that's completely doable. But as your team continues to grow, think about the day that you have 100 people. When I had only 10 people, it was easy for me to text them on a daily. I have a team of 150 now. I cannot be texting 150 people. So for me, I've had to shift in the way that I train my team. You can train by doing lives on the team page or getting people to come on your team page and doing trainings. I love getting different people to come to my team page and do a training or share their story, because it's different walks of life. They're going to connect with different teammates. You can do emails. You can send them emails. And you guys, Scentsy gives us so much. Like we have a whole trainings tab full of trainings. All the SFR trainings are in our trainings tab. And I'm pretty sure, like I would say 95% of you guys have not seen them all because I know I haven't. So there's a ton of trainings there that you guys have at your fingertips that you can simply go in, grab it, share it with your team and say, oh my gosh, this training was amazing. I wanted you guys to watch it. Tell me what you think. It's their job to train themselves. Like Beth said, they're independent consultants. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink the water, right? You can only do so much. One thing that Beth and I started doing back in May with some of our directors is we said we don't want to reinvent the wheel. I had gone from trying to do weekly Zoom calls with my team and having people not show up to saying, okay, let's do a power hour once a month. It wasn't working. So I said, okay, if I'm only going to have one or two people show up and you're only going to have, a handful of people show up, let's team up. So what we did is a training night discussion group. We pick a training every single week from YouTube or the trainings tab. And then we tell our team, this is the training, watch it. And then here's the Zoom link. And then we jump on Zoom and we discuss it. Like we talk about our takeaways, we ask questions, we say, oh my gosh, I like this idea. Oh my gosh, I hated that idea. Like, I so want to do this, but I would never do that. Like it's amazing to see like a lot of the different things that our team will grab, a lot of the things that our team will take, and a lot of things that our team will leave behind. But guess what? Me and Beth don't have to stop working our business to prepare a training. Not that we don't love it. I love to do trainings. Like that's one of my passions. I've done trainings at SFR. I like dream of the day that I'll be able to be like on one of those SSD panels type of thing. But I also have a business to run. So we have our motto this year has been work smarter, not harder. And that's what we came up with. And it's worked amazing with our team. And guess what? My team and her team have bonded and they've built friendships. And now they're like accountability partners and they talk to each other and they plan things with each other and they can't wait to meet each other at SFR next year. Like it's just amazing to see those friendships build because of a training group. And then, okay. Did you want me to talk about encouraging now?
You have that, and then I'm going to talk about some recognition
So
ideas.
another thing that is very effective, and honestly, Scentsy does not require this, but I feel like when it is the reason why our teams are so successful is that as a sponsor, you're the one that encourages and cheers on your team. Notice I did not say motivate. You cannot motivate the unmotivated. You cannot motivate the unmotivated. I've had tons of teammates that join and I see potential and then they go inactive. And I always wonder like how that person got like shooting star and sensational start. But if they're not motivated to work their business and do their business when it's hard, there's nothing I can do. I cannot show up for their business. But as a sponsor, I can encourage them. And what do I mean by encourage them? A lot of the times in this business, a lot of people fail because of the fact that when it gets hard, they feel like they cannot do it. So it's my job as a sponsor to let them know that I believe in them. And sometimes, you guys, we're the only one that believes in them. I've had people on my team that their spouse doesn't even want them to do Scentsy, that their parent, I remember when my dad told me one day, you're never going to be a director. And I said, what? Watch me do it. And it hurt so bad to have my dad tell me that. And he thought that just because of my situations, I was a mom, I had two little ones, I just had my hands full, that it was just going to be too hard. But a lot of our team has that. A lot of our team has people telling them, you're never going to make it. Oh, that's just direct sales. That's not real. Like, why did you get involved in those pyramid schemes? So as our sponsor, we're the only one sometimes that believes in them. And we need to make sure that they know that we believe in them. And do not judge your team. Do not judge your team on who is going to do something and who's not going to do something. Real quickly, without going into a lot of details, I'll tell you about someone that I had joined last year. And I was so excited when she finally told me she was joining because I had been talking to her for a few years. She joined. She did like a $200 party and then didn't do anything again. And I just kept reaching out to her. Hey, how are you? What are you doing? Like, what can I do to help you? This and that, blah, blah, blah. Thanks to COVID, she didn't get go inactive because they're not doing will cancels. But guess what? When she saw the Nightmare Before Christmas, she was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that that was coming out. Can I copy your post? I said, go ahead. Let me know if you need anything. You guys, she sold $600 on September 1st in Nightmare Before Christmas orders. If I would have judged her, if I would have given up on her and stopped checking in on her, she would have checked out of Scentsy a long time ago. And to this day, which I know is only like 22 days later, she's thanking me almost every other day, saying, thank you for not giving up on me. I have another teammate who I kept messaging her and saying, hey, just thinking about you. I haven't heard from you. Hope everything's fine. She was going through a horrible divorce. Horrible divorce. And when she finally opened up, I was like, oh my gosh, I would have put Scentsy on the back burner too. Like, I completely understand. So when you're a sponsor, don't judge your team. Don't think that because they're at zero that they're not going to do anything. I hear it all the time. Oh, well, like she's been at, like she hasn't done anything. You never know when that's going to change for them. You don't know when Scentsy is going to they're going to need Scentsy to buy milk and for their kids, or when they're going to need Scentsy to pay the light bill. So always as a sponsor, reach out. It takes 2 seconds to send a text. And then cheering on. I feel like this is where a lot of people think that, oh my gosh, it's going to get expensive. A text, an email, a phone call, a Facebook post goes a long way. I'm a recognition type of gal. That's my love language. I love words of affirmations. I love when people tell me I'm doing a good job. So I never expected people to buy me gifts. Gifts are nice, I'm not going to lie. But a text saying, oh my gosh, you're doing a good job. An email saying, oh my gosh, look at your numbers. That goes a long way, because guess what? That lets me know that I'm on your radar. You're looking at what I'm doing. So when you're cheering on your team, cheer them for being active. For some, $200, 200 PRV is a lot. Cheer them on when they hit shooting star or sensational start. When they get a promotion. When they earn trips, even if you don't earn them. I promoted to star consultant and superstar consultant, and I didn't get recognized, and that hurt. I know that, again, it's an independent thing, but when you see all these other consultants getting cheered on and shouted out, and it takes 2 seconds, it kind of hurts you. So as a sponsor, just have it in your mindset that I'm gonna cheer them on, even if it's via text, Facebook post, email. It doesn't have to cost me money. I don't have to send them a gift. I don't have to send them flowers. I don't have to send them anything. I'm telling you, as a leader, those go a long way, and they will get results. So go ahead, Beth.
All right, cool. So let's just talk about, Liz touched on a lot of things that I could probably just reiterate a little bit with recognition. But I love something you said to me, really spoke to me, and I'm still making mistakes. I'm still learning. I'm a star director. I don't know it all. Not giving up on those zeros, that really hit home for me when you're talking about that. In my mindset, you're like, oh, they're a zero. They're not even trying. And I still say that, and I'm like, oh, Beth, you are judging. I do, and I do it. And you just reminded me of that. And I'm like, okay, well, I need to step it up a little bit. So I thank you for reminding me of that, because I never really thought about it that way. I'm like, no, you're one of the people that's doing the judging that she's talking about. So anyway, a little bit about recognition. I'm loving lately the email recognition, and I feel like email recognition even goes further than spending money and sending something in the mail, especially when you can throw on there in the end, hey, make sure to screenshot this and share it on your VIP page or your team page. Every time I put that on there, my team loves getting recognized. And then if they can show that they're getting recognized and just have that extra affirmation from their teammates and their friends being like, way to go, good job. That goes such a long way, you guys. And how hard is it to send an email? It's not hard at all. So a couple other things that do cost a little bit of money, but it's really not that big of a deal, and hello, tax write-offs. This is what Liz and I do too. We'll do for example, we have a group and a team because we have directors, right? So we'll do top 10 group. And then, for example, me, I do top 10 group shout outs for PRV, and then I'll do top 5 on my team. And then maybe I'll send my team a little present. It doesn't have to cost a ton of money. Utilize Amazon. I mean, I just did something for my team the other day where I bought all these cute little stickers that said like fun things on them, like be happy, and I don't know what that one means, so I won't even say that one. Be kind, choose kindness, you know, live like you were dying, like always be humble and kind, like all these cute little sayings. They can put them on the coffee cups. They can do something. I got like 150 of these for like $6.99 on Amazon. Like, how fun is this to throw this in an envelope for the cost of a stamp?
Mm-hmm.
You know, use things from the consultant store. These are great stickers. You can get a pack of, geez, what are they? They're like $3 for like 10 sheets or something. I don't know. That's probably an exaggeration, but cut them up. Cut up a little section of these. Send them to your team. So many things you can do that don't cost a lot of money. So just make sure you're thinking outside of the box. But I love the email recognition. Giving them time, and she kind of talked about love languages a little bit. You know, try to get to know your love languages of your teammates. Now, I'm not saying you got to get to know the love languages of everyone on your group, but really focus on that front line. Like, find out, okay, I know that she appreciates time, so if I take the time to send her a nice text, that's going to mean more to her than sending her a sticker in the mail. Oh, I know that she's super creative and she likes to do fun stuff, and she does like getting gifts in the mail. She would probably love that, you know. Kind of get to know that. And then I think I was just going to close on team pages a little bit and just making sure you're utilizing your team page. And then I think, Liz, you were just going to close on a little thing about systems, correct? Okay. So team pages, the biggest thing to remember, and if my team's watching right now, they're like, Beth, we've heard this before. I know. Team pages, it's a privilege, not a right.
Scentsy does not require it.
It does not require a team page. So remember that when you're on a team page. Remember that when you participate in a team page. It's a privilege. It's not a right. We don't have to have team pages. We're not required to have team pages, but it is an amazing thing to offer. And as a leader, you should have a team page. You should be offering that to your team. You should be staying updated on it. And it's a tool to help you fulfill the requirements of your leadership, right? And saying that it's a privilege is a reminder of participation. Nothing grinds our gears more than when you have someone new join your team and you have 150 people on that team page and you have 3 likes and 2 congrats. Does it take you 45 minutes to type welcome to the team, good luck? No. So just think about it and put yourself in other people's shoes. When you see next time on your team page that someone has joined, put yourself in their shoes and say, how would I feel if I had 25 comments of people welcoming me to this new journey? It would make you feel amazing. Or if you had 3. It doesn't take long to shoot a little comment. And I've got tons of people on my team who are like, I know when the minute I put somebody's name out there that they joined, I'm going to have these same people that are always welcome because that's just their personality.
Yep.
And you might get a few flutter in there, here and there, but just remember that and just be mindful of it. And you already kind of talked about recognizing accomplishments on the team page, but again, that's what the team page is for. So utilize it for all of the good news and keep it positive.
Yep.
So,
and I'll just add that when teammates are seeing people like being shouted out on the team page, it kind of motivates them. I started recognizing those that were doing 2,000 PRV a month. You guys, I started out with 2 people on the first month. And as soon as those people got their little gift in the mail, and again, you don't have to do gifts. I chose to do gifts. But like I sent them like this little box. I call it my $2,000 hauler club. And the next month I had 3. Last month I had 5. 5 people who have increased their PRV to 2,000 have gotten that bonus. And also they're getting a gift from me. So when they're seeing stuff on the team page, it kind of motivates those that like those things kind of motivate them, like that friendly competition, like, oh, she got 2,000. I got to get 2,000. So like it kind of like lights a fire on your team. I'm going to close it out with talking about just real quickly on systems. I'm not going to dive too deep, and I'm not going to explain reports, but as a leader, you have to be looking at your numbers. Okay. If you do not know about the reporting tab, your homework is to go and watch trainings about the reporting tab. There's a really good training by Chloe Cox and her husband called Coach the Coach Part 2. I definitely recommend watching all the 3 parts. There are lots of good information, but Part 2 talks about exactly how to create reports, how to look at reports. You need to learn the reporting tab because for too many times I have leaders who miss being paid at title by like $11, or they miss a promotion by $50 because they're not looking at their numbers. Or sometimes they think that they have got a promotion, and I'm like, no, you don't have a frontline active. Like, they're not looking at their information. So you need to be looking at that reportings tab. And if you're a sponsor and you want to sponsor, you need to be looking at that reportings tab and looking at your team. There's so many times that I've seen people that have promoted and their sponsor doesn't even know. And nothing hurts me more, because I've been there. Like, to know that that person did not get recognized. And my team knows I will recognize them. If I hurt your feelings because I recognized your teammates, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to leave someone unrecognized because you're not paying attention to your tab. Like, it doesn't take 5 minutes to send a text saying, "Oh my gosh, you promoted." Like, that is so awesome. Congratulations. You can decide if you want to check it in the morning, in the night. You don't have to be like me, who checks it like 15 million times a day. I love numbers. It's my passion. Like, I just love checking out the reporting tab and seeing like who's gotten closer. But you can say, okay, I'm going to check it in the morning and I'm going to check it at night. And I'm going to see like where my team is at. Guess what? There's been people that have promoted on my team because I've told them, I'm like, oh my gosh, you are like literally $30 away from certified, or you're $200 away from lead. That pushes them because they're new. They might not know how to do the breakdown. They might not know that they're even close to lead. So look at your numbers. And if you don't know the reporting tab, go train yourself on it. Like, invest the time in training yourself on it. It is such an amazing tool. And there's so much that you can do on the reporting tab, like email your team, look at direct downlines. There's just so many things that you can do. And then when it comes to systems, just schedule yourself. Get a planner. If you're not a pen and paper kind of person, put alarms on your phone. I don't know, like, use a schedule to know exactly when you're going to do things. I schedule out my recognition. So like, I know on the 1st, I'm doing Facebook shout outs for my top 10. I'm doing my emails on the 9th when everything flips over, because I do emails about PRV and emails about promotions and paid at title. So I want to make sure that that report is correct. So I do that on the 9th. On the 15th, guess what? I surprise my team with an email called I See You email. And I tell them, I'm like, oh my gosh, you are number 1 or number 2 or number 3 out of, our team right now in PRV. So I have that all in a schedule. I have a sheet in my office with every day and the things that I have to do. You don't have to get that detailed. Again, you can decide how you lead your team, but set up a schedule. Say, okay, if I'm going to follow up with my team on the 1st, I'm going to ask them what their goals are. What are your goals this month? What are we going for? Are we going for a promotion? Are we going for 200? Are we going for 500, 1,000, 2,000? What are we going for? And then maybe you say, okay, on the 15th, I'm going to follow up with them and be like, hey, how are we on your goal? Like, how can I help you achieve your goal? Do a schedule for any type of recognition that you want to do. Maybe you say, okay, on the 15th, I'm going to recognize anyone who's at 500, or anyone that's at 1,000. Amy, if you don't have the Amy app, I highly suggest you invest in it. Amy has follow-ups for your customers, but it also has follow-ups for your teammates. So guess what? There was one Sunday that I sat on my couch and I sent text to everyone on my front line saying, hey, how are you? How are you doing this month? What can I do to help you? And I got a few people telling me I'm struggling. I'm doing really good. I don't know what to do about this teammate. Things that they will not post on the team page because they feel like if they post it, they might be bringing either negativity or might be bringing people down. Or maybe they just don't want everybody to know they're having a bad month. But it goes a long way as their sponsor to check in with them. And again, it doesn't take that much time. It took me maybe 15 minutes to message my entire front. You guys, like, this is your journey, but it's also their journey. Like Beth said at the beginning, do not sponsor just to get to the next title. Be the best, whatever title you're at, and those promotions will come. When I promoted to director, of course, I set my eye on star director. I knew that I was going to come eventually. I didn't have like a specific date on it or whatever. But when I promoted my second little blue guy, I knew that I wasn't ready to be a star. Like, my numbers were just not there. My group was, but my team wasn't. So instead of like worrying and being like, I need to sponsor because I need to recruit, I looked at my team and I said, what's my team dynamic? I had a lot of leads that were not getting paid at title. I had a lot of people that were not certified. So I dove into my team and I said, I want you to get paid at title. I want to help you get paid at title. Why are you struggling to get paid at title? Oh, well, my teammates are not getting active. Well, my PRV is not very high. Okay, how can I help you get there? And as I dove into my team, 2 months later, I promoted. The promotion came when I was being the best director I could be to them, the best leader. Again, it's servanthood. Their journey is their journey. Find out their why. Find out what dream paycheck they dream about or what they need every single month and help them break that down. And when you do that, and when you dive into your team and your team can see that you love them, they're going to trust you and they're going to be cheering behind you when you're close to those promotions, when you're close to your goals, because they're going to want that for you because they know you want that for them.
I love that. Awesome. So if you liked what we had to say and you want to tag any of your team or any of your leaders or anybody, feel free. Hashtag replay if you watch the replay. And we appreciate you guys just taking the time to listen to us for a little bit. We definitely went longer than we thought we did. We were going to. We should know. We like to talk. So anyway, we're so proud to be on Patricia's team. You all already all know how amazing she is, and she's just so special to us. And if you haven't met her, I hope you do soon. And I hope to meet all of you guys in
Charlotte. And I will be uploading this to YouTube. So like if your teammates are not on here, I can share the link once it's uploaded so you guys can share it onto your team pages or share it with them.
Awesome. Have a great night, guys.